Say that again? I had to restart my
No, what's
audio.
the pub? Did you? Yeah, no.
I missed what you just said.
I said, oh, you had went for a long walk with the dogs, and then I sat in the pub and watched rugby.
Oh, good.
I had a few beers, which is up. So good Saturday.
Pretty chill
But
day.
I was
Then.
hoping to jump on and jump into team games, but it seems like tomorrow is the day, and unfortunately I'm not going to be around, so
I won't be
I'll have to
around
win them alone.
in the morning and start of my afternoon.
Oh really? That'll be enough.
Because
you might be in the solo games then instead.
That's what I mean. I won't be.
Tomorrow? Oh, you won't be around. Ah, right, okay. You might be around for the team games in the evening.
Yeah.
So you said you were done by about 3, right?
Approximately. That's when I end up home.
Yeah, that's when the games are kind of ending. So maybe you'll catch the last game.
Yeah, sometimes I get on and there's like a second wind going on and they just start again.
Yeah, it's good.
But I've seen that pattern on Saturdays too sometimes. Like, it might be dead in my time zone from like 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and then it just starts again. I guess people...
I really don't know why they don't speed up the game.
Yeah.
Like, having to wait around 20 minutes for a game to end when you know, there's not another game starting in the background. It's not really...
On the plus side, though, since as long as your computer can handle it, of course, if you can run 2 instances of Arma, then while you're waiting 20 minutes for that to start, you can play one of these.
Yeah.
In that time.
Or you could just be in the game on 2 accounts, and then if you die, then you can just always play on the second account. You just hide in the blue circle. Do a Scott 30. You know Scott 30 is he doesn't ever grab a gun.
Yeah.
So you could hide in the blue circle on one account and then play on the other. And then when that account dies, you play on the accounts in the blue. Cheating, of course, but... So it'll be hard work.
Indeed. Oh, also, I've made these own sizes, just one size. It's not related to the map right now.
Right. I don't think that's a big deal. I think it'll be fine.
And that should make...
So at the moment, there's no RNG thing. There's no, like, hunt the human thing. Is that right?
Not necessarily.
Right.
I started...
The changes the 1 to 8 thing. What's it?
The accuracy is the change, yeah,
accuracy.
for now.
Yeah. Okay.
The accuracy and then targeting players in the black zone in the first zone.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's cool. It's an improvement. See how it plays out. I'm just going to jump on this truck and go away because I don't actually think there's much loot here. Or I've just dropped. What the fuck? Go in the truck. There we go. Why can I not get into this truck? It's so bugged out. Okay, now it lets me.
So yeah, I figured I'd start with this much of a change, and then if we still need the, you know, the...
I'm stuck under the car, I think. Somehow I'm stuck. I'm so dead here. I don't know quite what's happening. Yeah. Oh, maybe... Yeah, I'm so... Alright, now I'm... Okay. I'm so confused about what's happening in game right now. Anyway. I managed to free myself.
Turn on your stream. See what's going on.
Yeah, I think my internet might be bad because I'm trying to take things and it's not working. So maybe it's my internet again.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can see I'm just clicking things. Is my stream very bad too?
No. It's pretty clear.
Wisdom. Yeah, all those things I tried to take out the box, I didn't manage to loot. Maybe that's actually a bug happening to all the bots. I don't know. But yeah, I can't take anything from this thing right now. Let me do a speed test. See whether my internet is actually working or not. Maybe my connection to your server is bad or something. I don't know. Maybe the loot thing is.
Try one right now here.
Yeah, no, my internet's perfect. There's something wrong with the server, I think.
No worky.
I'm getting 230 down right now, so
I'm gonna back out of the...
Yeah, I literally can't interact with that box. And I couldn't interact with the car, and Something's wrong with the server, I think.
I'm disconnecting, reconnecting.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. It's literally just loaded, but the lag is like, I don't know, 20 seconds? So I've got like 2,000 ping to your server right now, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah.
This is my internet.
Ping. I actually don't know what that all means. Yeah, it's saying I've got 177 ping, but yeah, I'm struggling now. I'm moving around fine, but when I interact with the loot boxes or the cars, I'm not able to do it.
So I see.
And that jump is a bit delayed. It's odd.
I had this sort of thing happen last night, actually. But it was only on the test server, it wasn't on the main server.
Wrong. Yeah. This isn't working.
It'll take forever for me to load in. Very well, maybe it just needs a...
Maybe restart.
Yep.
Reset.
If I can find my frickin' mouse cursor, that would be great. Why is it not? Okay, there it is.
Even the bots, I think, are taking a long time to load in. They're still parachuting in, even though it's kind of been 6 minutes. So I think the server is falling over, yeah.
Very strange.
What? Once again, it's good to have immediate tech support.
Yeah. Doesn't want to restart the server. Automatically, at least. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it should be back up now.
Oop. I'm just disparaging our food in a minute. So.
But I did have some issues like that with last night on the test server.
Oh, really? Strange. Right, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna put it on.
I'll see what happens.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see if I can loop that just fine. Yeah.
Where are you going? You going? Oh, is it working? Yeah, it's kind of working. Huh?
I was able to loot from the uniform box,
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah.
but the problem that I recall only happened after dropping.
Right.
Like I had one instance
I
where
can change one of the
I made it
outfits
to
easily.
I made it to the ground, and then it took forever for the blue zone to start, and then I watched the other parachutes dropping, and they all went up in the air like another 100 feet or so, and then came back down. So it's like the whole thing just lagged.
And you're not getting any debug messages or anything like that?
No, I didn't really check, but so far so good. The timing seems...
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Timing seems good. I guess that's all it was, just due for a restart. Mr. Beefy told me before that somebody had recommended to restart a server like every 3 or 4 hours or so.
Right? Oh, really?
Something like that.
He's a lot. It's not. So
Oh,
you would
come
have to
on.
work out when the game is. Yeah, but then you lose people who are sick on the server. And 4 hours seems very, very often. Isn't it?
I would have to implement a messaging system for that, or notification.
Yeah.
Like, server will restart after this game. You'll have to reconnect or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Well done.
Someone just tried to join.
That's good. Oh, disconnected.
I keep seeing that. It's immediate. It's username has connected, username has disconnected.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck?
Well, I had that the other day when I was trying to join, and what happened? I think I just wasn't running the right mods. So.
Yeah, if there's people out there that just pop in and they haven't read anything,
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
Well, it says join via the launcher, so
Yeah, and I've even got
which is an idea.
Discord.
But you would think this Arma would have implemented something now so that it gets you to load the mods through the game without having to join through the launcher. It's fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You have to close it every time. But
I'm guessing the server wouldn't work vanilla. You need all these mods, right?
it'll work vanilla, it's just you won't get as many maps.
Maybe it's worth that trade-off.
I've started at vanilla.
Yeah.
I wanted enhanced movement.
And you wouldn't get enhanced movement, or
Yeah, I wanted enhanced movement. That was a deal breaker for me.
yeah. I can kind of see. I mean, if you were to get loads of people coming into the server on a regular basis, that would be worth the trade-off, right? But
Maybe so. I could run.
how many maps would you lose? You'd lose tower and things, would you?
You'd lose probably 2/3 of the maps,
Really?
roughly.
Okay.
Maybe more. Maybe 3/4. Because there's only
Then it's just
there's what is it? Altus, Malden,
yeah.
Tanoa.
Biscard, presumably.
I think
Biscard is a mod, isn't it?
Scott is a mod. I don't think Stratus is.
Fucking hell.
I think Stratus is a
That's
mod too.
terrible. Really?
You'd lose some good maps.
Crazy, isn't it? That's honestly bonkers that it isn't easier to get people into server than that.
Well, so far so good with this. They're obviously got rifles from the kill feed,
Yep.
so that means my scripts are good.
Yep.
Hey, here's a football
Also
field.
fun. So it just needed a restart, it seemed like.
Come have a game of
I think
football
that's
with
why
me.
their bots weren't. Maybe that's why the bots weren't the bots weren't taking loot either, because the server was falling over.
Yeah, the server was. It was hungover from last night.
Yep.
Come on then. Here's a football field. Let's go.
Really got a sting right now.
I got my favorite gun.
So,
At 320.
jeez.
I'm about to go seagull hunting.
I don't think there are any AI around us. I mean, they sound like they're over the hill. So they're like on the gaming map. They're about there. I don't know where the other
Yeah, I'm not logged in if you want to check it out for yourself. But
No, it's fine. I don't want to cheat. I'm just listening to the game sounds.
oh yeah, the lovely game sounds.
It's one thing that Arma does very well is game sounds.
The ambient sounds are a little wonky, but everything else is good.
Really? Oh yeah. No. But they've worked out they've done.
Such as,
Sounds.
or like when you're in a building, when you're out of a building, and you listen to an environmental sound, noise,
Yeah.
say crickets chirping or wind or whatever, it's like on or off.
Low.
As soon as you enter the threshold, it's off.
Yeah,
As soon
yeah,
as
yeah.
you leave the building, it's back on. There's no fade time or anything.
Sure.
Let's
The
see.
air conditioning unit on one of the houses in Biscata, it's just really irritating.
Yeah, those are kind of. It makes me think there's a car pulling up.
Yeah, me too. Every time.
Those are probably about the only two things. As far as the sound goes.
No, on the whole, it's pretty good. But I haven't really got a good gun there at all. I'm not quite sure which buildings to loot in this map to get guns. And which ones are good and which ones are bad.
It's just all chance.
Yeah.
I have found some buildings that don't have anything. They don't ever get anything. I think that some modded buildings that are not vanilla to the game, and it's only a certain few of them.
This is quite the office type building.
Oh, that dude just got shot down.
Nice.
Here's an MX here.
No, I've got a gun.
Oh, okay, I guess I misunderstood that.
Oops, shit. Where's the guy who's shooting?
I'm gonna make my way to you. I'm getting shot at. Got killed.
Wait, already.
You are in 1-1 still, so go.
Yep.
Oh, you're the last one.
Already. Oops.
Moving to 1-2.
Okay. I'm afraid I just found an MK18, so I won't be joining you.
No worries. Totally understand. Cool. Joined a bot. He has a rifle and 11 mags.
Nice.
Good script is rock solid.
Alright, 3 minutes, still zone 3. Pacing seems really good.
How do you like the starting time now? It's 6 minutes.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I'll tell you when I can't find gear and I'm raging. Yeah.
You are right now?
No, I'm fine right now.
Oh.
If I can't find gear and then I'm like zone 2 and there's no gear.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it'll ever be an issue because you just get into the blue zone and you'll loot there, right? It's not like the loot disappears. So.
Yeah, the cleanup script only applies for empty boxes.
Yeah.
And boxes that are like way out of range. So like by the time you're in the 5th zone, it's going to delete boxes that are way out there.
Yeah.
That's about it.
There's some pushing.
Loot. Loot faster. Dang it. Loot faster.
So are the bots pushed into the blue here before the shrink happens? Like, should
Before
they
the
be
shrink?
in the blue now? Is it? Yeah. Should they know
Let's
to
see.
be in the blue now?
It's zone 3 now, so they're only going to get target waypoints if the target's in the blue. And then there are normal waypoints in the blue as well, so yes, they should be in the blue or
It should
like
be all in the blue
super
right
close
now.
to the blue.
Let's see.
Because,
Yeah.
of course,
Right, I'm going to look into thingy.
the accuracy
Have
is
a look
going to
where they
be... The accuracy is divided by 4 right now for targets and divided by 3 for general blue zone waypoint.
So how many squads outside? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 squads in. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about equal between in and out.
Are they moving towards
These
it?
guys are going for it. Yeah, kind of.
I could see that group is. That group's making their way in.
They kind of slowly are, you know?
They're making it
I'm
in.
curious to what their waypoint is. These guys definitely aren't. I think that's because they can see AIs in front of them.
Yeah, if you click on the unit, you'll see their waypoint.
Really?
See that?
Oh, there we go.
So they got a waypoint for a vehicle.
Was that their waypoint out here?
That was must have been for a vehicle.
Right, and now they're out here. That's down. Now they're heading for this waypoint, presumably. So they didn't take the vehicle in the end.
Yeah, right.
It seems like right.
They decided it was too far or something.
Do they only take a vehicle if it's close? Because look at this. They've taken that vehicle.
So that's not. That script is in place.
Their guys behind.
That script is in place, but it's according to where they are.
Yeah.
Of course, and they're gonna get parachuted in. They're too far away. So you just saw that happen.
But they kind of ran away to get a vehicle. I kind of feel like
The runaway
running further.
value is there, so it's just a matter of tuning that.
Yeah. But the guy who was driving left without his teammate. So
Like, I used to have it to
That's
where if the vehicle is between them and the edge of the black, get the vehicle. But that made a
Right.
big technicality issue, where if the vehicle was to the right or to the left, it could be considered further away by like 1 meter or something. And then they wouldn't use the vehicle. So I try to make
it so that the vehicle doesn't blow up if there's a person inside it.
It doesn't blow up if there's a player in there, I know that.
Yeah, maybe it'd be worth making it so the AI don't blow up yet, and then, but you want to kill them off, don't you? So that they're not.
If they're gonna get parachuted in, then that would be better, because then they get
Yeah.
brought in
Saved.
and survive, and there's some more
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
activity.
Yeah.
30 players in Zone 4, 2 minutes left.
Yeah, this isn't bad at all. But a lot of them were outside. It's more like you want to avoid having them parachuting because it doesn't look that legit. You know, it doesn't look like it should do. But you wonder whether they're just they're getting stuck in a fight and therefore focusing too much on that. So maybe eventually, like I know you've done a lot of coding lately, so we'll just let everything lie. But presumably at some point you'll want to do maybe a careless run into the zone when they're that far outside. I think careless is the right word. Careless maybe is an aggressive thing, and maybe it's the wrong word. They should hold their fire and get into the blue zone at some stage.
Of course, that does mean they'll get shot down if they get spotted.
True.
They won't fight back.
But it also means that a squad that's outside the black alongside them, they don't get into this kind of fighting loop where they try and kill each other even though they're not in the blue zone yet. So you would get two
ideally,
teams that are outside the black zone, both ignore each other and then get in.
like the way players would play would be, if I'm getting shot at outside of the zone, I'm going to try my best to avoid that fire and get in safe.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically. At some point, like I used to rage where we were both outside the zone and we both would die, and then the guy would continue on the firefight. It's like he's damning himself to death by trying to kill me, even though he's not going to get in himself.
Okay.
So you and it doesn't matter if the AI just ignore everything and run in, right?
I think I can make some kind of event handler that sets their behavior according to what zone they're in.
Maybe the time left. So if there's 2 minutes left for the shrink and they're 500 meters out, they should just be running. They shouldn't be shooting anything. They shouldn't be doing anything other than running. Sure. Something like that.
Yeah, so then if you got a squad next to another squad and they're both trying to make their way in, they won't fight each other until they're in.
Yeah. They should have
But
a whole fire script and then they check
Until
when
they're in what though?
yeah.
Until they're in the blue or the black?
Blue.
Yeah.
Black doesn't matter. Blue matters.
Yeah. Out of context, that sentence was kind of wrong, but yeah.
It's not. I don't know what this can you see this thing on the map? I don't know if you can see my circle.
I'm
You
looking
can't.
at you. What is it?
I don't know what that is. Weird.
What are you looking for?
Do you know what that is? This
Oh, a little red
thing on
thing?
the map.
Nope, don't know. Don't know what that is.
No, isn't it? Weird. Because eventually it'd be good to get to a point where the parachute is kind of like the last line of defense. At the moment, it's teleporting a lot of the players in, and it's killing a lot as well. So, do you think that the number of people who are colliding and being double teleported is reducing?
I do,
you think it
because
changed?
I put more delay time between that and a 30-meter radius around which members of the same group can teleport. There's still the chance is still there that
So it
they
should
could
work.
pick a close spot, but they shouldn't.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
For some reason, I treated that separately than the initial drop. How I scripted the initial drop, but this time I made it the same way. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know why I did it differently. I
So
just
it works now.
wrote it from scratch,
Yeah.
I guess, on the spot.
I mean, presumably you could have a script that says get into the blue really carelessly. This is guy sliding around here. Are you? No. Probably buggy that and then if they could return fire if needs be.
Like, do hold fire unless fired on, kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
There is one for that.
That would make sense. That would be a lot better. And then if they are fired upon in the black, i.e., by a human player, because all the bots at that point, when the circle's getting, say you could execute it when there's a minute left. So anyone in the black stops firing. Sorry, 1 second, my wife's talking.
Gotcha.
You want some love? All right, love. Okay, I'll go and eat. Maybe the script only executes on teams that are say 200 meters plus from the black. From the blue zone. Halfway through, or I'm sure it can be. You just need to work out when they're in the danger zone that they go into this kind of. Wee.
I got an idea of how to do
it. Must be you, isn't it? Is this you on the build?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right. If you want a good gun, I'm here. I'm gonna go find dinner. See you later. I'll be back in like half an hour, 45 minutes.
Cool.
See ya.
Enjoy. Let's see here. that. Hello?
Hello?
I fixed it.
I had ice cream on cold. You fixed what?
I fixed the game.
You fixed the game. Game's working.
Yes.
Nice.
Uh,
How is that game fixed?
I'll show you.
Ooh. Timberland.
Let's see. Where do I start? So, I've had these event handlers that cause them to retaliate when fired near, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've put a filter on that evaluator to only do that if the zone is 1, or if the zone is after 1, the unit is in the black zone. They are allowed to retaliate.
Uh-huh.
Whereas before
Good,
it was
good.
unfiltered.
Mhm.
I just had a game where there were still 34 players in zone 4.
Right.
That's
Very
good.
good. Good.
All right, and then
Yeah,
down
perfect.
here at this where I have the Pellier, where I
So
have,
they have to be in the black zone.
I'll come back to that.
rather
I'll
than
circle
the
back to
blue.
that.
Yeah. Sure.
That's for retaliation. Now for deliberate targeting, this might answer your question here. For deliberate targeting, a unit won't target another unit unless the unit in question, the unit that is doing the targeting, that is in the blue zone, or it's zone 1, meaning it's free range.
Right.
And I just saw it work. It was so cool. I was in spectate, and I was...
So sorry, say that again. So it won't target a unit.
Let me show you this. I might be able to...
So if it's in the black zone, not the blue zone, it will only retaliate. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Sorry. Right. Okay.
And deliberate targeting is only allowed in zone 1, free range,
Right.
and after zone 1 only if the targeter is in the blue zone. I tested it
So
with just the black
they
zone
can
to see
fire out,
if,
but
to
not
see it
fire
work.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, I tested it with the black zone and then moved it to the blue zone.
Oh, lag. I think it would be good if it was to happen halfway through the zone. At the very start, when the zone changes, you don't want the AI suddenly deciding they don't want to fight anymore. You don't want them to lose aggro.
Oh yeah, that's what
fair
I thought to put that in. I forgot.
So yeah, I mean halfway through the zone, maybe like if they're standing in the black and they're not yet in the blue.
In zone
you could
1,
have them
right?
To the point where they.
Because that's before
onwards,
Xamarin
those
starts.
two months. I'm getting lag. I don't know about you.
I'm not in right now.
Oh, you're not? Okay. You can see my stream. I was just paused. Okay, we're back in.
Excellent. It's doing great, right?
Kind of, yeah.
No, I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, it's frozen, yeah. I don't know quite why. Let me restart Arma and then see whether it will sort things out. But we're getting lag now. It's similar to what the lag was before. Do you remember when this is a new update in the server, is it?
Last night's update.
I think I'm getting lag every 5 seconds, like periodically. We'll see.
So here's how I fixed some of it last night, right here. If the zone counter is less than 2, I think it's zone 1, then the target area for waypoints
Yeah.
can be allowed within the black zone.
Right.
And the index, the priority waypoint becomes the targeting waypoint instead of just to get to the blue zone waypoint.
Right. Okay.
Else,
But can I just jump in there? I think for like as the timer goes down,
that needs
for
to
the first blue zone, their priority must change to getting into the blue zone. Right.
sounds good. So
If
I
you've
could
got
do that.
fixed 6 minutes of you now, I think. So for the first 4 minutes, it might be okay just to randomly do things, but then 2 minutes they should be really just trying to push into the blue. So only retaliating, I would have thought.
okay, yeah, the whole time thing is what I forgot to put in. So I'll add that, but I'll move on here with the rest of this part. I'll reread that first. If you're in zone 1, target area is allowed anywhere in the black zone. And
Sure.
the priority is the targeting waypoint over the get safe waypoint.
Okay.
It's not called that anymore, but it's easy to refer to it that way. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
else, if the zone is 2 and beyond, but less than 4, so I should say 2.
Yeah.
If it's 2 through
3, is it? Is it 2 less than 4? Right.
I'm just trying to read this correctly. If it's zone 2 through 4, the target area becomes the blue zone, but the priority is to get safe.
Right. Okay.
So they'll move to the blue first and then look for the player next. Right?
Yep.
And then after zone 4, they're allowed to target anywhere in the black zone. But the priority is still to be safe.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Sounds
Now I
good.
just need to add the timers to that. I could be like, if the timer with the 6-minute total timer, I want to do it by percentages here. So it could be like if you got a quarter of the time left in zone 1, start making.
And that would
start getting
be
safe.
quarter would be a minute and a half. You probably want more than that. You probably want a third, I'd say.
Okay.
That's 2 minutes.
Third.
2 minutes you can run 500 meters.
Very good.
Which isn't a
So
lot.
I still have to test the index part, where it prioritizes targeting over getting safe, vice versa. I still have to test that bit, but it's typed in here. Where else did I do that? Up
And then
there.
presumably in I'd say in zone 2, you probably want to do something similar, I think, where the first half they're targeting, then the second half they're trying to get in. And then from then the circle then becomes smaller. So getting in is less problematic. In the first 2 circles, the circle's really quite big. Most of the time if they're not in yet, they're going to have to move a lot to get in.
Yeah.
Any way possible. I mean, you can see really clearly. I don't think the server's running particularly well. Again, I'm trying to get in, and it's really fucking slow. So, but if you're doing stuff and you're running the test server, then don't worry about it.
I'll close out of that. Try the test server then,
Okay, all right,
because that one's running these changes.
sure. Yeah, it's much faster. But...
I'm probably in the middle of the game there. No, it's new, right? Yeah.
No, it's fine. Yeah, you're fine.
Because I left in the middle of the game to start coding crap again.
Ah, right.
Because of ideas, you know?
Ideas.
Endless optimization. So let me finish reading this bit. So I got the whole script about targeting any other player that's not in your group. That's what makes this whole 4-man free-for-all groups work in Arma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had that running at all times, regardless of zone, regardless of whatever. Just at all times target everybody else that's not in your group.
Mm-hmm.
So I changed that, and now it is, if you're in zone 1, sure, go for it. Or if you're in the blue zone, so that either one of those has to be true for them to target. That means it has to be zone 1 or they have to be in the blue zone. So if one of those is false, such as now it's zone 2.
But can they target someone who? So if they're in the blue zone, they can target someone who's in the black zone, presumably. In 1, so they're gonna remove themselves from the blue zone, at least temporarily, right?
Oh, let's see here. I mean, they can. This is a loop, so as soon as they step out of the blue,
how quickly does it refresh?
every second.
Really? Okay, right.
So
right.
as soon as they,
how often do they get a new waypoint? Is my question, I guess.
every start of a zone, every half zone, and every waypoint completion. The third of which rarely happens.
But what my point is, if the player at the middle of the first zone is standing in the black, and the AI decides to target that player, they will be out of the blue zone by the time the first shrink happens. Which is not a disaster, but it's not what you wanted your script to do, I think. Is that correct?
You could make it a distance-based thing.
You can, yeah. That's
You
what
could
I was
say,
thinking. Is
if you're
if they're like 400 meters from the blue, then they should start running 2 minutes. 2 minutes before the shrink, they should be already running.
Yeah, instead of a fixed amount of meters, though. I would do a percentage.
But...
I would do percentage.
Sure.
So, like, if you can imagine a circle, that's 1.5 size the times of the current blue zone. Like, if you're in that range, then go ahead and target people. That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And we can make that 1.25 or something, so that if they're like just outside of the blue, they'll still be able to target.
Sure.
Something like that.
But you kind of need to give them a timer for when they should start moving in, depending on where they are.
Oh yeah, that would be elsewhere in the script.
If they're very far, they should be told to run earlier. If they're not very far, then they could get it later on. But if you're saying that only gives a fresh waypoint every 3 minutes, then it's not very often at all.
They get a fresh waypoint at every start and half of each zone. So if the timer's 3 minutes, they're going to get it at the start.
For this, maybe you need to give them more often, waypoints more often. So they're getting maybe one every minute and a half or 2 minutes. Or minute. How lucky would the server be with a minute?
I don't know. It's hard to fix it at a fixed amount of minutes.
Sure.
I'd rather do percentages again.
Can you change it by zone? So you could have it so it gives new waypoints every quarter in the first 2 zones, rather than every half.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, every half should be fine.
I'm mainly worried about the bots getting into the blue zone in the first 2 zones, because at least after that, like they only have to run like 200 meters or something, or 300 meters to get into the blue zone. It's not a trek like it is initially.
Okay. I still need to type out these what was it, time dividers? No, but I won't need to do that anymore because, like you just said, we'd be sending them waypoints every quarter. Yeah, okay. That would be the simplest solution.
And I think it does need to happen, that. Right, so cool noon, right? Cool noon?
Huh?
It's
called set noon only.
Set noon only. Okay. Cool set noon only. Is that space? Cool space set noon only. That's super. Yeah, okay. It's about to go dark, so. Cool.
Set morning works too.
Okay.
Because the progression is the time progression is ×5.
Oh.
Instead of 15.
Oh yeah, true.
Because you had me change that yesterday.
Cool.
Okay, so I think all I need to do is add in quarterly waypoints for zones 1 and 2, correct?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Under 3.
I mean, you could potentially... Do you think it's really going to be that taxing? I think you could do it for the first 3.
I don't know. I'll have to test it.
No. I think the first 3 would be fine. I mean, it would... I don't know how lucky it is, that's the thing. It would make sense to just have it always do it more regularly. More regularly.
I tried to set it on a loop, right? I tried to make it on a loop where it's just, say, every 60 or 30 seconds. I've tried all kinds of ranges, but it wouldn't always work. Is the thing, because it's a separate loop for each unit of the game. And that was.
And I guess the other thing is you want them to complete your waypoints, and if you keep spamming them with waypoints, then they won't move properly. They won't ever complete a waypoint. They'll just be given a new one.
Being given a new one isn't so bad, right? What's the problem with that is how long they take to calculate their path.
Yeah. All right.
And sometimes
maybe just the first 2.
Sometimes I get
see how you go.
So the only reliable way I found to give them waypoints was every time you see a time notification on the screen, that's when they get waypoints.
Yeah. Right.
However, I can change it to every quarter. For the first.
Yeah, I think for the first zone. Yeah.
Or how about every quarter? Every quarter for the first zone, and maybe every third for the second zone. I don't know. I'll do quarters first to see what happens.
Yeah. See how we go.
Alrighty then. So. Button 2. Oh, forgot to remove this. Whoopsie. Some old code left
I
over.
mean, currently at the very start, now that you've done it, so it's like right now, the bots are like /1 or something, right? In zone 1, there'll be /1.
/1 for getting safe.
/2.
Yeah, /1 for getting safe, /2 for targeting.
Right. And so they basically won't hunt the human.
Like they'll hunt you, but their waypoints are going to be way less accurate.
Right.
So they don't know they're hunting you specifically. They just know that they're getting a waypoint somewhere around your area for whatever reason, and they're just going to blindly follow that waypoint until they notice, oh, you're there.
Okay.
That's how that works. They don't actually know you're there until they're close to you.
Right.
Like, I guess, in their field of view.
And it's not going to be, and then they only target me if I'm in the blue. Is that right?
What zone is it?
Or in the black at the moment. 1 at the moment.
If it's zone 1, then yeah, it should just be if you're anywhere in the black, including the blue.
Right. Okay.
Looks like you're in zone 2.
I am now, yeah. It's just changed, yeah.
Okay, so in zone 2, then it changes to blue.
Right. I think we're in a situation now at the start of the game where the bots won't hunt me. Because it's entirely random. Even at /2, it's like quite low probability, I guess.
Yes, I thought about upping it to, you can always
I just think the percentage chance will work really well. So, this bot's now outside the black.
But if there's a percentage on top of the wide accuracy,
right,
it could potentially make it way less interaction.
Yeah, so I'm talking about having a decent accuracy and a probability. So, like, say 10% of the bots or 20% of the bots go directly to me or near
by chance,
the
of course.
human. Yeah.
There's still a chance that none could come. There's still a chance that all could come. It's very rare, but it could happen.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're gonna get like a dead early game. So unless it happens that the human is in the blue already.
Yeah.
It's something we worked on in the future, I'm sure. Let's work on this one, but first.
If zone counter is less than 3, get a waypoint at the first quarter. Fair enough. And then, let's see here, where's the other one? Got the half right there. That happens. Right here. So then at the last quarter, get another waypoint. Boom. Done, son. Okay, so now I'm going to test this on my own with indexing and
Cool
stuff.
I mean, if you're getting to a stage where they're always getting into the blue really quite reliably, then that's great. And then from there, maybe in the future we can think about bringing some of that out of the blue, trying to hunt the human a bit to kind of boost the action for a human. But yeah, I mean, what you're doing right now hopefully will get them into the blue reliably, which would be good. It means little to no parachutes ever, right?
Because one of the games we had just played, yeah, true. One of the games that we just had, you and me today, or maybe it was last night, I can't remember. All kinds of runs together. We noticed that the player count around zone 2 was already at like 30-something players.
Yeah.
And then the test I just had while you were away today, I had 35 players in zone 4. So
I'm in zone 4 right now, and there's 55 left.
Holy
Obviously,
crap.
Oh, no, there's 100 starting, yeah.
120.
Right, so now 2, 3, 4 parachutes. That's not bad. 5, 6, 7 dropped. 2 squads, I think, basically. So most of the squads got in. 18 squads got in. 2 were outside the bounds. That's pretty decent.
And there's also a way to change how far the boundary is for parachuting as well. Like I could fine tune that. It closes in as the circle closes in.
Yep.
To where there's like no
That's very good,
tolerance
isn't it?
for the black zone towards the end of the game.
Right. Yeah, but you don't want to be teleporting anyone in. I don't think you should be using parachutes beyond like 3 or 4. Like when we get this fixed, you should be getting them so they're running in without shooting to get into the black zone.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because when they get teleported into the final zone, it's just kind of
Weird. Once it's close
it means
range
it's
like
not-
that, you
it's not-
see it happening all the time. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's either that or I take away the parachute and just have them spawn. Have them
Have
tell
them die or something.
We'll kill them
That's
off.
going to be pretty. Yeah, but it can also kill the humans. That when you spawn an AI
Well, it won't
just
kill the
suddenly
human,
next to a human. No, but I mean, if you spawn the AI randomly and it just appears next to humans, it's going to be pretty tilting. Yeah, I think with what you're doing right now, it makes sense, and I think if you get it to a point where you're able to tell the AI to stop shooting and just run for the zone, apart from when they bug out behind a wall and they can't work out how to get in, they should all get in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Presumably what's happening and they're not getting in is that they're trying to engage a target and they're like looping on them. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know, really pissed off me.
They get in the combat
So if you
loop
tell
while
them
they're
to stop
both
firing,
trying
they
to
should
get.
just run in.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're both trying to get to their zone. And to the average player, to have bots not shooting when they run into the blues, it's going to look realistic. It's what happens in the normal game.
And then you can get in yourself and not freaking die all the time.
Yeah, to a black Zen player. But it should only that should only be happening when the circle is about to kind of close up. It shouldn't be like the standard response from the AIs. Otherwise, they just won't be competitive. Like, say, I don't know, the last 30 seconds, the last minute, the circle, if they're super far out, that they should just start running for it. Say, if they're 200 meters plus out from the blue zone, or 400, they start running after before 2 minutes, or whatever, because they can't take a vehicle anymore, right? They can take a vehicle beyond what zone can they take vehicles? 1 and 2, right?
That's a size-based thing.
Right. Okay.
So it's when the zone is less than. I'm on the page now. Let me find it.
750 was it?
Yeah,
I mean, you've got
750
fixed
radius.
zones now, so presumably it'll be 6. Yeah. So you've got fixed circles now, so presumably there'll be a defined zone where they never take a vehicle ever again.
If I decide to keep it.
And
Keep fixed
then
zones.
you would. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's always the case of moving stuff around, isn't it? Right, 3 parachutes here, 1 squad, I think.
Now you see why I
So
prefer
13.
multipliers and divisors instead of fixed numbers.
Sure. No.
It's
Yeah,
easy
no, I
to
get you.
make
Yeah,
it dynamic
makes
that way.
sense. Yep. So, gosh, I'm really outside the zone with this. Yeah, so you kind of need some kind of script which says if there's X amount of time in the zone and you're this far out, you should start running and stop shooting.
Okay, yeah, that would be to turn off my target enemy group script.
Yeah.
And it toggles. It'll just switch back and forth based on that.
I mean, right now I'm basically in that. I don't know if you're watching the stream on mine, but I'm so far out of the blue zone that I literally need to run now, and I now need to run for how much do I need to move? 440 meters, which is 2 minutes of running, and the zone's about to change. So I should not be shooting at all, all the way in. So it is kind of complicated to write the script for this, but if you can write this down, then they'll never not make it. They should always run at this stage, because I'm about to get a double shrink now.
Oh,
If you
where
want
did
to
I
help
have that thing?
thinking about how to work it all out, and I'm going to go through it. But
So instead of just for the targeting script, that is targeting loop.
Yeah.
That's where I would put that. So instead of putting only target if you're in the blue zone, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Only target if you're maybe in the black, but also within half the distance away from the blue zone or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. For the first minute of the thing. So for the first waypoint or something, and then for the second waypoint, if you're X far away from the blue zone, then actually for the second waypoint they should only ever target the blue, which I think is the case anyway. But they should, if they're too far away, they should recklessly run in without firing. If that makes sense. I don't know if that's possible to do. But like the second time that the bot gets a waypoint for the later zones, if they're not in the blue yet, they should recklessly run into the blue. If they're too far. Say they're like 150 meters out of the blue, and there's 1 minute left to go, they should just run for the blue without firing. And then they can start firing when they're in the blue, or does it not work like that? Will they,
I'm
will they
about to
immediately
make
know
it.
they're in the blue?
About to make it work like that. Just here, give me a few minutes to think about this.
Yeah, no worries, it's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see here. This distance blue zone pause is less than blue zone
Oh, sugar and meds.
size times. We'll start with 1 1/4. Very good. So we do that, and then we can also do time, like you're saying. Add time. Gotta find that time script. Here we go.
But like presumably, if it's checking every half zone,
This part that I'm plugging in checks every second. This is the targeting.
oh, every second
Loop.
is it? Okay, right, fair enough. Okay,
This is at all times. It's gonna make the decision to target or not to target.
Ah, wonderful. Okay, that's much easier to program then.
Yes, yes.
Than
If it
having
works.
to give the waypoint thing. Yeah, that'd be super.
If zone counter is yeah, in zone 1, do what you want, but except for the time.
Yeah.
So that's where the time needs to be.
But if that targeting loop turns off as soon as they get into the blue zone, it's perfect because then they'll start engaging as soon as they're in.
Yeah, with that in mind, should I do it that strictly, or should I do it if they're, say, within 1 1/4 times the size of the blue zone?
Nah, just in. I personally think because they could be being fired upon, right? And they're recklessly running.
They'll still retaliate. So
Oh, will they?
that solves
Okay.
that bit.
I'm not sure that they should, honestly, because they're still going to be on that aim loop then.
Well, I'll tell you this:
unless other people
they retaliate as long as they're in the black zone, because
Right,
that means they're not
okay.
taking damage from the zone.
Yeah, yeah.
But they will only target when they're in the blue.
Okay.
And keep in mind, this is all past zone 1. And also, the only thing that overrides them retaliating, they will absolutely retaliate if they are hit.
Right.
If you hit them, they will attempt to turn and shoot back, but they will probably still
Okay.
try to advance at the same time. But at
Yeah.
least they won't have all this
that's
other
it.
part telling them to target regardless of zone and time and all that.
I'm just worried that they might come under fire and then stop moving in, which should be a death sentence sometimes. So having them
I
recklessly
mean, if
run
I'm
in
playing
might
and
be
I'm
better.
getting hit, it's like I'm making the decision in real time. Like, do I turn and fire? Do I try to get safe? If I keep running, I'm gonna die. If he hits me, I'm gonna die.
just
You
wonder-
know.
I just think that you can educate the bots to make an informed decision about whether they should or not.
Of course, you can always try it one way and change it
Sure.
during this testing phase. All right, so I need to figure out this evaluator here. So the only thing that should override them not targeting is basically how much time is remaining. Like, that's the master overrider.
Yes.
for the rest of the conditions.
I think if you could do it, if the enemy's like more than 250 meters away, that you don't re-engage. Because what has been happening is like they will spot an enemy that's like bloody miles away and then fixate on them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's evaluating every second. Sorry. So you know the evaluator that's saying I'm under fire. How quickly does that update? Is that every second?
That's even faster. That's
Is it? Right.
those are event handlers, and they run like, I think it's like every frame or something, which is 60 times a second.
Okay. So if the enemy that's killing them stops firing on them for some reason, they'll start running for the circle again. And stop fighting back, presumably.
Yes,
We can
because
see it and just test
in that
it.
loop, there's also evaluators as well.
Yeah. So let's run it and see whether it plays out properly, and then
Yeah, I mean, I gotta finish writing this last bit
yeah, no worries. Yeah.
before that.
I need to get my ass into the circles. I'm too fucking slow. I keep getting being out of the circle and not being fast enough now with these new circle times. Merco's circle again. Yeah, in Buscada, it's... Sorry, I'll stop bucking you while you're coding.
I should probably stick to simple one notch at a time changes.
Yeah, no worries. I was just to make a random...
Like, we know our end goal.
observation about Buscada.
Here's what happens, though.
Yeah.
If it's zone 1,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's past zone 1, you're in the black zone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should change it to blue zone. I think I had it at blue. Yeah, blue. If you're in the blue zone,
Mm-hmm.
then go ahead and target other enemy groups.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Else, it will set the unit's combat mode to white. And what that means is set combat mode white means hold fire, engage at will lose formation. Basically, hold your fire unless you get fired at. Like
But in the black zone, in zone 1, that sounds too relaxed, I think.
in zone 1, it will never happen because the evaluation is if the zone counter is less than 2.
Yes.
And in zone 1, that's going to be true at all times, so then they're going to target.
Oh, they're always
The
targeting
evaluation
one.
passes,
Yeah, it's
so
fine.
it targets.
Yeah. Okay.
The other evaluator,
This is
it's
from
an
zone
either
2
or
onwards,
evaluator.
isn't it?
Yeah, so this
Right,
is not a
okay.
and both conditions must be met. This is either or must be met.
Right.
So if it's zone 1, that takes precedence. Great. Free range, have at it. If it's
Yeah.
past zone 1, then you also have to be in the blue zone to target. For you to be
have
the
to be in
instigator.
blue zone to target. Right.
And we can change, again, being in the blue zone or being a certain distance away from the blue zone.
Yeah, I feel like for the first half of zone 2, you should be able to engage in the black, and then at the end of it, the priority should be getting into the blue. You're going to have a lot of bots in the black zone. I mean, that's going to be quite good in terms of making sure that lots of bots get into the zone 3, but it's also going to mean that a lot of bots don't bother shooting at the human for the whole of zone 2. So when the human is running in black, which is going to be for a long time, for like 4 minutes or something, none of the AIs are going to shoot. They're only going to return fire. So you're basically just going to not have any competition for the first bit. So I would probably say that zone 2 should be, it's the second half of zone 2 that they should start really focusing on getting into the blue zone, I guess. They should be able to pick fights for zone 2 lasts 6 minutes, doesn't it? I think. Is that correct?
Zone 2 is now
6
4 minutes.
Is it? Okay. Well, maybe. I mean, see how it plays out if you like. But I think perhaps.
Zone 1 is
you
6
want it
now.
to just be right. You'll probably just want the first half of zone 2 to be free for all, that they should be able to shoot if they're in the black zone at anyone. And then for the second part, they should only engage if.
I should rephrase that time.
Blue zone.
I should rephrase that. It's capped at 4 minutes, not set at 4 minutes. So if there's
But it's very likely. It's
little
very
amount
likely
of
to be
players,
maxed out, isn't it?
yeah, very likely, yeah. That's what we would expect, and that's what we would hope.
So can you do two? Can you split zone 2 into two things?
As far as what goes.
As in have zone 1 treatment for the whole of the first half of zone 2, and then have what you programmed to be the second half of zone 2 and onwards.
The second half, okay.
Because otherwise the bots aren't going to shoot during zone 2, and the black zone in zone 2 is huge, and it lasts.
Oh well, what I just typed in takes care of that. Yes.
Okay.
It depends on the timer. So now it reads.
Okay, right. So you do, yeah. Okay.
Now the master overriding thing is,
Yeah.
if it's zone 1, have at it. Anything past zone 2, these conditions have to be met. Let me try to read this correctly so I don't screw it up. Just a moment.
Yep. There is.
Okay, so past zone 1, you have to be try to read this. I'm trying to read this. You have to be in the blue zone, or if you're out of the blue zone, the timer has to be I think less than half. It was, maybe it has to be greater than, yes. And this is what allows targeting.
Yeah. The timer has to be what?
So if there's more than half of the time remaining,
you can
go ahead and target. If there's less than half, the evaluator's going to detect that, and it's going to turn off targeting and switch them to combat white mode. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That sounds fab. That sounds really pog. And I wonder whether you want to do that in general for all of the zones.
This is what would happen.
Yeah,
for all zones, this would happen.
Every single zone. Yeah, for every single zone.
And the minimum is.
The first one.
Yeah, I think the minimum was capped at. Well, I'll have to look at what it was again, but I think it was 2 minutes.
Right. I wonder whether you have another line that says if you are greater than, say, 300 meters or whatever, however you want to script it. If you're, sorry, I'm getting shot at. If you're like super far out of the zone, you go into white mode. So come zone 2, if you're like 400 meters away from the zone, you should just be running. You shouldn't ever be shooting anyone.
That's the filter I'd put in the retaliation bit, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Yeah.
So then, unit in there.
So white mode should be automatic any time that the AI is more than 400 meters away or something like that,
So I'll make it to where you can only retaliate if... Condition. What is the condition? I would like to do percentage.
Okay.
Or how do I say that?
I really wouldn't do percentage. This has to be a fixed amount. It's like 400 meters is 2 minutes worth of running.
But 400 meters.
2 minutes.
400 meters in the end game could put you outside of the black. You shouldn't be out in the black at that point, but
no, you shouldn't. So don't do it for zone 1. Do it for zone 2 onwards. If any AI is ever more than 400 meters, it runs until it's not any more than 400. It's like a fail-safe. If they're miles out, they shouldn't be fighting. They should be running in.
Right. Okay. Unit distance. Blue zone. Position.
If zone is 2 or greater, and unit is 400 meters, more than 400 meters away from blue zone, then go combat white, right? I think is the command. Until they reach blue zone. presumably
Is this for deliberate? Is this to enable deliberate targeting, or is it to enable retaliation, or both?
But what you want is if the bot is over 400 meters away, they should run into the blue zone without firing on anyone.
So it has to be evaluated in both the retaliation part and the targeting part.
Is it? Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's what I have to sort out.
I think so, because it's gonna, yeah. But then it's gonna be overwritten, isn't it? As soon as I'm just trying to think, would it be overwritten? Because at some point the AI is gonna no longer be 400.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, they'll be allowed to. We could do either engage or retaliate.
Yeah. I mean, have a think about.
Could make it like at 400 meters you're allowed to retaliate, but then at 200 meters you're allowed to engage.
Yes, maybe. Unless if the zone time is more than half of it. I don't know. You've got different layers of code running there that you best understand, I think, like the conditions and stuff. But there just needs to be a failsafe where the bot starts running in without doing anything else if it's super duper far from the black zone and it's past zone 1. Obviously, if you have it in zone 1, they're always going to be super far from the black zone.
Well, I think here in the retaliation bit, it says...
Yeah. I forget what the retaliation script is.
Past zone 2, they have to be in the black zone to retaliate.
Past zone 2, they have to be in the black zone to retaliate. Yeah, cool.
That's already in.
Yeah. So they would need to be okay to retaliate at all. Okay, cool. So
the only thing that overrides that is like if they are hit.
Okay, cool. That's good.
If they're fired
so
at,
the thing
they're
we just
fine.
wrote 400 meters and more.
I haven't done the 400 meters bit yet, but let's see here. Because I was trying to figure out which point to put that.
Yeah. So presumably this will only apply in zone 2 or 3. I guess your non-retaliation script will kick in. So it's mainly for zone 2, really. If for some reason the bot didn't get in zone 1, it should kick in on zone 2 and onwards. That the bot just runs to the zone to make sure it gets in.
Yeah.
And then if that's working properly, I mean, you could turn off the parachutes for a bit and see whether the bot will always make it in.
Okay.
And whether parachutes are even needed then.
Yes.
They might be needed in like zone 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know if they get stuck behind a wall or something along those lines. That's what I envision that the parachute will be. Is if they get stuck in a car or if they get stuck behind a wall or... Oh shit, it's embedded and they're shooting at me.
Do you think I should stop parachutes? Apart from turning it off for this test, of course. You know, keeping the script in. You said I should stop it at zone 5, was it?
I wonder whether you should have it on at all for 1 and 2. I don't think it actually ever does it. Yeah, I don't know if it ever actually does come into play, does it? Because the zone is so big.
Here's the evaluator. It's only if I need to find that
was
part.
Start
players. Where did I put that part in it? Darn it, where did I put it? Why is this still here? No, I guess it's fine.
Shit, the bot just got a quad kill.
I forgot where I put something.
Ideally, no worries. Yeah, ideally the parachute just literally is to get bots unstuck.
under condition calculator. Yes, really. That's really it. Start black zone. Okay, so here it is. So it's based on how many groups are remaining, and it changes the range, the boundary for which to activate this.
Everything.
So the default condition is if there are still if the group count is over 18, the boundary is 2 times the black zone.
Right. Okay.
So they have to be way out there to even activate, like you're
So
saying.
they need to miss the previous black zone, basically. I think that's correct.
They have to miss the previous black zone, but if the new blue zone was off center, then of course.
Yeah, actually, it needs to miss the first black zone because the first black zone is half the size, right? But then it needs to be wildly out.
Oh yeah.
In order to be
even activate.
Teleported thereafter. Yeah.
So as soon as you get less than 18 groups, it's 1.75.
Right.
Times 1.75. As soon as it's less than 15, 1.5, less than 12, 1.25, and then less than 9 groups outside of the black at all.
And is there a reason why you've set the different percentages? Like, is there a reason?
I'm trying to remember why. More? I think it was just to help them against
something being shot out of the sky, or
maybe to help them against getting zone damage.
Right.
Because if they're like, I used to have it to where it just deletes them, remember? Or it just kills them off. So I started thinking on that.
Okay.
Trying to thought was like, well, what kills them? It'd be zone damage. So if I have it activate closer in, as the game progresses.
Well, I'm just trying to think. Like, it's 66, isn't it? The shrink.
Mm-hmm.
So double would be, a little less than double seems to make sense for every single occurrence.
Oh yeah.
Which would mean they missed the black zone by a decent margin, right? I think.
Okay.
And that means they're thoroughly stuck. It means they're probably so far out they probably won't get in. I think. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like we don't want to be picking up bots that will get into the zone, but are just getting caught because the zone just changed. Which is why I'm wondering maybe you only do it from zone 4 through 6, just as a cleanup. Like if you look at my stream right now, there's 10 bots of 14 being dropped in. Something's going wrong here on this circle.
By that,
whether that's because it's cleaning up too aggressively. 7.
It's less than 9, so it's out of the black at all.
Right.
So that's too much.
Yeah, I think so. The cleanup script should really just be getting people who got stuck behind a wall, not because they didn't get into the zone properly, unless they're like miles out. Because your script now should be then telling them to run for their lives and get into the black. Or their legs break and they don't make it, right? And then they die outside the zone, which is not
their legs break, but they are told to heal on every waypoint update.
Right.
So now that the waypoint updates will be quarterly for zones 1 and 2,
you can see so many. Heal if their HP is less than 50, can't you?
Yeah, that's on at all times.
Okay, so
but sometimes, as you saw before, I could be at 2 HP and not have broken legs, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Have 98 HP and broken legs.
50 is the threshold when you're stuck outside the zone at which your legs break. So they should be always medding when their legs break. Yeah.
Yeah, I set it at that threshold.
And there's plenty of meds in the game, so they should med and run in carelessly, you know? So I think a uniform, what did we say? If it shrinks 66, then I guess double the black is good, I think. I'm just thinking towards the end of the game, double the black is what? Double the black is like... Double the black is Yeah, double the black is decent, I think.
For what again?
Yeah, there's too many. Again, look, 9 people alive, 4 people being parachuted. It's grabbing too many at the moment. The bots aren't properly getting in.
So just double the black at all times, or what?
I think so. Yeah, double the black.
Okay.
But I think maybe only from zone 2 onwards.
Zone 2 onwards.
Because what will happen otherwise is you've got your AI going for vehicles. They probably will get to the vehicle, and they may get in. If they don't get in, your script will pick it up from like zone 3 or something, which is fine. But I would give them an opportunity to actually try and get in properly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm way outside the zone again. I don't know if the zones are too small or I'm doing something wrong, but.
Oh yeah, and I needed to help the AI that are in vehicles trying to get in not explode too. That's right. So I just put that in.
Yeah. So your vehicle cleanup scripts.
It was only
should really clean up from 4, I think. I guess.
From zone 4.
I think so. 3 or 4. Yeah. Because whatever the threshold is, that they should never be getting into vehicles. That it's just humans. And if you'll clean up the vehicles so that, what is the purpose of cleaning up the vehicles other than the nice explosions? So I can get behind the vehicle explosions.
The explosions was a cool side effect, but the goal was just to have less objects to render all the time.
Right. Okay. But exploding them, does that actually keep the objects in?
No, because it explodes it and then deletes it. It explodes it, waits a second, deletes it.
Can you just delete them rather than... Actually, I like explosions.
Yeah, me too. So I don't want to keep it. And so it also does a cleanup for loot boxes.
Yeah. And I think it's quite nice to have a sound for when the zone changes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So the explosions are quite nice as it sounds. Yeah, zone 4 would be fine. Start deleting things, yeah.
I could even do cleanup.
If it's no,
never mind. I'm not gonna say that. One at a time, one thing at a time. So now I have it to where, oh shoot, where did I lose that? 2, 1. Dang it. Okay, so like between zones 2 and... No, hold on. It's... Zone counter was over. It's supposed to be 1.
We're going to do something about the Prone Warriors in the final circle, I tell you.
Zone 2, 3, and 4. The cleanup script will run for players and vehicles.
For vehicles in 2, 3, and 4? You mean 4 onwards, right?
Between 2 and 4. Or zone, I'll say that again, zones 2, 3, and 4. So like
between zone
1 it won't happen, and after zone 4 it won't happen.
After zone 5, yeah, but you don't want them exploding in zone 2 either, I don't think. You want them not exploding until the bots will never take a vehicle again, which I think is zone 3. You don't want your AI to have got a vehicle and be driving in, and then for their car to explode.
Oh, that they won't. I see what you're saying. If they haven't made it in yet, it will explode. So you don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen at all. I wonder what's happening. Can you see on my stream? I wonder what's happening with the bots when they dropped a few times as well. Like this guy should be aggro to me. He's been what's it called? Parachuting. And yeah,
I'm telling you, man, he's overwhelmed from the shock of it all.
Yeah,
it's got to be. I know it's kind of being funny, but
it's
it
happening
might be
a lot.
true.
And yeah, I don't know quite why the bots are.
Maybe after I do this and it reduces the amount of parachuting, they won't freak out like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because I reckon this guy has probably been dropped 3 or 4 times now already. So I'm apparently staying outside the zone, which is not great. But like he's making no effort right now to get in either. That's the other thing.
Yeah. So he's just freaking stuck.
We need an end game script, I think, at some point. And that script should also say that never go prone. But like right now, 9 seconds to the zone, he's sat in the black. He's not going in the blue. He doesn't have a waypoint, it seems like. Have a quick look. It seems like he has no waypoint at all. Yeah, it's no waypoint. He got teleported in. He'll win because he got
That
teleported.
black in the center was a waypoint.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
He does have a waypoint then. Yeah, he's just not going to it. Do you think it's possibly because it's too close? Do you think he thinks that he's got there?
I don't freaking know.
In which case, we need to end the game before that bug happens by making them fucking go ram, but basically by zone 6 or zone 7, so the game never gets to that point.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I'm running the test now where it has quarterly waypoints.
Yeah, no worries. One thing at a time.
All the filters we just talked about.
Yeah, cool.
You can join it if you want. It's on the local. It's on my editor.
Sure. Yeah.
2302.
I've done stupid. I could have just done this, shouldn't I? I can get it.
I could have done it again.
Yeah, I could have done it, couldn't I? 60, there we go. I don't think this
could have done
one
one that makes sense, but why would you do that?
I know. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing at the end to make them stop bipping like it's weird.
Zone timer is on time. That's good.
I think I might have made the zone shrinks too aggressive. Not gonna lie. We'll see.
You mean by the time or
in the zone?
time or distance?
Yeah. The time. Yeah. But I think it might just be me forgetting to get into the zone. So, but I'll measure them and see what the shrinks are in this game. I don't know why my arm is taking forever to load. Sorry. I have to restart it. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna restart Arma. It's impatience from my part. But I don't think I can go straight from direct. Oh, there we go. Fucking hell. Thank you, game. Right, I'm just gonna start on boss. Obviously gonna do that. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to direct connect when I do that, so I won't bother doing that again. Because if I try and direct through IPs from the launcher, it just doesn't like it.
I see. It's not that one, sorry. It's...
Oh, sorry, my bad. It's the main one, is it?
2302.
Okay, so I need to direct connect, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there we go.
That's my editor game. If I have the port correct.
No.
Let me just start over and make sure.
Yeah, no worries. Normally it appears by now. It's the Moses computer, isn't it?
Yep. Just a moment. There we go.
There we go. Lovely. Alright. I don't know why it's done that. Why was that last week? Oh, not last week, yesterday. I was crashing. I don't remember why it was crashing. Like I couldn't get into your game yesterday. Let me try and direct connect now. See if it works directly. It should still be running the right mods.
Yeah, it should.
Weird. Yeah.
That's the only thing I thought of. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, no, I'm running all the right ones, I think.
Says you're connecting.
There we go. Lovely. Yeah.
Stupid. The launcher fixes it every time.
There you go. Arma really sort this shit out, really. That it's this fiddly, it really is killing the game off. I guess
that was the exact reason somebody. I asked him, I was like, hey, why don't you play Arma more? He's like, it's janky, bro.
Yeah, really. Just need to fix things.
One evaluator did not work, so I'll have to see what that is.
Okay.
There's the cleanup script. Error went away, though, so I'm just going to keep playing, see what happens.
Sure.
Although
he's running for his box, so you already been to the box.
Oh, I know what it was. I forgot to surround the double evaluator with parentheses. Now it's fixed. Now the next time the cleanup script fires, it should work.
We could. Hey, can you amend things on the fly and they're in game straight away?
When I'm running in the editor, yes.
Okay, that's good.
It's like if I make changes to the...
That's one thing they've done well then.
Yeah. If I make changes to the waypoint script and it's not in use at the moment,
yeah,
then I can save over it, and then next time it hits, it'll be the new version.
Yep.
So we got quite a few changes going on now. Kind of forgot to keep track of them all. But I think we know what we're looking for.
So the waypointing system...
Waypoint system, targeting...
This is all about careless running, is it, mainly? Yeah.
It's about them, prioritizing. It's about them evaluating where they are, how much time is left, whether or not to target, whether or not to retaliate.
Yeah. Okay. So a successful test will mean that we won't see many parachutes, if any.
Right, and parachutes are going to be disabled for 1 and 2, and then 5 and beyond.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So just 3 and 4 is going to get parachute, really.
I think having the parachutes work, but maybe like only if they're like super far out.
It'd be nice to not have to have them, but you know.
I guess we have a look and see what's happening.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing I changed. I fixed the zone, the paradrop recycling boundary. I fixed it to, I think, ×2, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy has a sniper, but I have no gun. I mean, 1 second, look at this. They're clipping here.
Come on, climb the reservoir. You can do it.
Dude, just outside this house, there is a guy with a like the best sniper thing if you watched it, but we can't. There is no. I got no bullets. Probably gonna just shoot me. I'm sad.
Oh, I know. I already know something that's not going to work, by the way.
Oh, really?
It's that during Zone 1.
Right.
I don't think that they're going to make a run for it when the time changes.
Okay.
I think that I typed that part out of order a little bit, so I got to check that again.
Right.
Let me read this again, make sure I got it. It's
That was a little bit... sorry, I'll let you read.
Target during Zone 1, which is great. Okay. It's either that or... Well, that's going to override it, because... Okay, so there needs to be an and there. There needs to be... If the zone counter is less than 2 and the time is... 3/4 time remaining. Or half time remaining. I can't remember.
My concern is with what you read out to me. It could be completely right, but they might not try and get into the blue in the first zone.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going to predict.
Yeah. And so they should really have like if they're not in, they should walk in at the end of that zone 1.
They still get waypoints though. They still get quarterly waypoint updates and should make some decisions based on that.
Sure. So it's really only in zone 2 that they start panic running for the zone, I think, unless they're 400 meters away from the zone. But that script only kicks in after zone 1. So they're going to start panic running for the circle only from zone 2 now.
Right. Yeah. But we wanted it to happen.
Which might not be the end of the world. That might be fine. That might be good. As long as they don't start getting parachute. But they shouldn't get parachute because the 400-meter thing and the double the zone.
400-meter things is not
Actually, if they get parachute, it's not the end of the world anyway, I don't think. But then they can't be parachuted because it's zone 1 and we've disabled parachutes in zone 1, haven't we?
1 and 2.
Okay.
And they have to be further than 2 times the distance.
Okay. So the cleanup script, so they'll get recycled at zone 3 if they're super far outside and they're not viably getting in.
3 and 4, yes.
Yeah. Which is grand, I think. And then they should hopefully always make the zone thereafter. That's the bit that then needs tweaking from 4 onwards, I guess. Nice shot.
Yeah. Turned at morning.
So do you need to be an admin for this, or can I start looking at the spectator?
You won't be able to log into admin on this one because it's not dedicated.
Oh yeah, I haven't got permissions yet. Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah. Player-hosted servers are a little bit different when it comes to that.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I can still kind of do spectate through clicking through the units on the use thing. We seem to be nicely inside the zone already. We're in zone 2.
I can stop and look too. Let's see.
And you can look at the parachutes when it shrinks as well. So you've got one guy in the car who is now out of a car. Hopefully he doesn't blow up. Alpha 24 was in the car. He's now got out of the car.
Yeah, the car won't blow up because it's part of cleanup.
Yeah. So Alpha 24 is the only squad that looks to be pretty messed up right now. So, do you have spectator or not?
Yeah, I'm using it now. You can see it on.
Okay. So what's their waypoint and stuff?
So they got a waypoint to. Their leader must have been far ahead to a different vehicle. Yeah, this is their leader. So the leader is the one that gets the waypoint. The distance is evaluated based on them. So they must have detected a vehicle over here. So now they're heading to it. Disregarded their previous vehicle. That's why the other guy left.
Right.
And they're able to target because... Why are they targeting?
I mean, they shouldn't be cleaned up next, right? Because it only cleans up from 4. Is that correct? My memory's so bad.
On zone 3 and 4.
Right.
Stops at 5.
Okay. We want them cleaned up here.
So it won't happen until the next zone.
Right.
But this is kind of the
whether
exact
we want to clean them up or not. Yeah. So this will be 2 times the black, I think.
Yeah, because this guy's limping in. Okay, he just healed. Let's see if they make it.
So they're very unlikely to make it in.
They're all making it. They're all sprinting towards the car now. So there's some kind of hope.
Now, are they? Yeah. Yeah.
One of them was.
And all the others are done great. Yeah.
There's only a minute left. First guy's in, second guy's almost in, third guy's on the way. I think they'll do it. I think they'll start driving. They're the only ones out.
Yeah, they won't get into vehicles probably, it seems like. I don't know. Okay, 2 are in. That's nice. And the other one, they're waiting on the other one, are they?
Uh-huh. He's on his way. Uh-huh. Alright, so he made it in.
Yep, nice.
They got a new waypoint.
Cool.
So there's your waypoint completion proof. They get new ones on every quarter zone or half zone or whatever, but also if
Yeah.
they complete the waypoint.
So, are you happy with what's happening, or?
So now he is calculating a route, I believe. That's why he's still sitting there. They're about to get another waypoint because of the zone change, but they still haven't moved. They're gonna get teleported. No, not yet even. I think they are. Let's see. It is zone 3, so... Let's see. 1, 2.
So
That should be past.
they're not teleported just yet.
Yeah, it feels
Zone
like
4 has not happened yet. So, but they
zone 3
you think
is
they're
current. They should
Yeah.
have been teleported.
The circle's pretty small by now, isn't it?
Yeah. Zone counters to and zone counters. Oh, I did that wrong. Dang it. I know my cleanup didn't work. I had this little thing facing the wrong way. So under 2, over 4, it will stop. Had that typed incorrectly. They died. Okay. But I know why it didn't work, because it was a typo.
Okay.
Should see it work.
So
next.
do you think they got the memo that they should just be booking it for the zone or not?
Yeah, I haven't seen any errors related to that. I only saw an error on the cleanup script, so that's why that didn't work.
I mean, it looks. I didn't look at how many parachutes, but it didn't look like there was any parachutes at all. So that's positive. There's a lot dead though.
Let's have a restart since the cleanup wasn't
Sure.
working.
Okay.
Welcome. You will die.
So they only get drops in the black, right? Or do they get drops everywhere?
I mean, look at that. It's either in the black or like 1.1 times the size of the black. So like some of them could be just
Okay.
outside of the zone.
Right. Cool. Never in the
I
sea.
think it's in the black though. I really do.
Yeah.
Let me find it. Start players, blah 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 blah. Okay, it's in the black. They have to be in the black.
Mhm.
They will get dropped in the black unless they drift. Take a look at the targeting script again.
I mean, one way of increasing the bot's chance of making it into the blue is to make the first shrink 0.66 again, rather than 0.5. Now we've sped everything up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
That might work too. I don't know. Again, don't want to make like big jump changes, but that would help the bots to get in.
Let's just go ahead and do it. So start black zone is here. Cool. Start blue zone. This is gonna be 0.66. Cool. That's correct. Here we go. Welcome. you will die. By default, Gavin is the winner. But you can be second place.
But only if you're on this team.
If you're on his team and cooperate with his every move, you have a chance at second place. And a
If
free
you win, you
iPad
will
too.
be banned. An iPad?
No. An iPad too,
Wonderful.
though. An old iPad.
Oh, I can't move your box. There we go.
That's a pretty far scoot.
Need a little time to wake
Alright, so
up, wake.
I'm gonna drop, and then I'm gonna teleport to the center and go prone and get safe. And I'll have to go AFK for a sec.
I know it's
But then you can tell me how it plays out. What I'll also do is go ahead and put this version in the test server so you can continue in case I don't make it back within a reasonable
Sorry,
amount of time.
forgive me for probably asking the same thing. You have Spectator, right?
I do.
Can you stream Spectator for me?
Yeah.
When you're done, yeah, and then I can at least kind of look at what's going on in the sky. I'm watching a stream. I'm gonna die myself, I think.
I crashed. No.
You're dead.
Dead again. No.
We'll just change over to a bot that's in the center of the circle if that's what you want, right? What's the story? Morning glory. Yeah, straight into carry rig. Oh, he's getting a gun. Of course, I don't have a gun.
Come on.
Oh, sorry, you're coding. I thought you were going AFK.
I'm about to. Not
Alright.
coding. I'm actually going to put this version that you're playing right now on the test server that's dedicated.
I see.
That way, in
Right.
case I don't make it back, you can continue if you want.
I see.
Oh, why does that keep restarting? So that'll be running soon. Hopefully I make it back for this one.
No worries. You off for a bit then, yeah?
Maybe not too long. I don't know.
Right. No worries. So it's on the test server now. Okay, I'll go off and back on that.
Yeah. But I'll try to make it back to this game.
No worries.
Rifleman, 600 meters, bearing 330. 3, fall back.
Need a little time to wake up, wake up. Wow, come on. Why are these still... Fishing out the... Yeah, the script is not working.
wounded. Two, sit rep. Here's hit.
Right then.
Hello, mate. You alright?
Oh, hold on.
Give me a shout when you're back, huh?
Okay, for real this time.
Alright. It doesn't work. That's the TLDR. They still shoot each other outside the black. And a lot.
Okay. Look at the evaluator again. If you're in the first zone,
The
go
other thing
for
is,
all
it
else.
seems weird that there's sometimes squads get stuck in this prone thing where they literally are stuck on the floor, won't move at all. So I wonder, is it possible to tell them to stand up when they get a checkpoint? Sorry, a waypoint.
Oh, here's why they're doing that. So I put they either have to be in the blue zone or the time has to be greater than half. So as long as they're in the first half of each zone, they'll fire outside of the black.
Oh, they don't want to do that, right?
So I could change it to if you're in the blue or you are in the black.
They must be in the black before shooting. Yeah,
Yeah, they gotta be in
they
the
shouldn't
black
be
no matter what.
engaging here at the start of the round. So these are now not engaging because there's now a minute left in zone 4. So these guys should be allowed to engage. But they really shouldn't be engaging in the black at all in the final minute. They should be returning fire in the black, but they shouldn't be engaging. So these guys should never be shooting for the whole of the zone shrink. These guys should only be shooting
And the only reason
up until the last minute.
there's an overlook on my part here, so let me fix it.
No worries.
It's just we added so many parts to the evaluation, I forgot, I think, to add that one. All right, so we're gonna put this in. I think this has to be in order. Ah, come on. Shoot, gotta step away again.
All right, mate. No worries.
Alrighty then. Put pizza in the oven. So where was I? It has to be zone 1 or in the black. If it's not zone 1, that'll be done here. Great. Fantastic. Something like that. So that's, yeah, that's either or of there. Back. Oh, here comes the drawing board again.
Yep. It's complicated, isn't it, to get everything down? So.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not always. It's always one plus, isn't it?
If all of this, if it's zone counter 2, or it's in the black zone, but it has to be in the black zone and time is more than half remaining. I think that's right. Yeah, because then if the timer's down, no, because that would stop them from firing within the blue as well. Oh, okay. So we need to put the blue zone evaluation here. Yep. Blue zone or Yep. So that goes there. This is one large evaluation. Where's the end of it? Be right back.
Something like that, mate. Can you do these kind of evaluations? Oh, I lost it, you bastard. Oh, you fucking arsehole. Shut up.
Alrighty. So this has to be one giant condition, which is in the black zone and timer is greater than half. So in the first half, basically. So it's like this. If you're in the black zone and you're in the first half of the circle, go for it. Once it's past halftime, if you're still in the black zone but not in the blue zone, you don't target until you get into the blue zone. Fantastic.
So this, if you look at my thing, it's something like that. I think would work, and that's for everything apart from if outside black and zone is greater than 1, don't shoot. Yeah, I don't think that the AI should ever shoot outside the black zone, right?
Yeah, and it was only happening because of a little technicality.
Yeah.
So now,
And then can you do these if things for everything? Like,
take a bit to type that out. This is the blue circle.
This could be the YOLO script.
If outside black and zone is greater than 1, run, don't shoot. Zone is greater than 1. Yeah, run. Yeah, so you better get the heck in there. That's what that means. Yep. Okay, so distance to the blue circle edge. If you are past 400 meters at all times of the game,
yeah,
don't shoot.
And I think for that one, you literally you don't even respond to fire. I don't know what the code is, but you said white is to return fire. You shouldn't even be returning fire at that point. They should just be running.
Okay, so that would be done in the retaliation loop, not the targeting loop.
Right. Okay.
So let me figure that one out here. And that's distance from the blue, not the black. So instead of seeing if they're in the black, we'll just do the distance as far as retaliation goes.
The retaliation should be even more strict. So like retaliation is like, Korean. Retaliation is like, as in don't shoot whatsoever. It's like if the distance is greater than 100 meters and time is less than, 20 seconds to about 25 seconds. They shouldn't fire at all. And if you're greater than 200 and time is less than,
not gonna lie, that looks like
1 minute.
A lot of micromanagement.
But I mean, this is how you're going to tell when a bot should go into the blue zone. At the moment, they're not going to the blue zone. So,
but that's because my one little typo.
I
swear, if I had that correct, I would have gone in.
Yeah. So the script you've got there says if you're
looking at this
outside the blue zone in the final 60 seconds, you stop shooting and you run. So it's basically what I'm suggesting is that what your one does is, sorry, give me a second. What am I doing here? It does this all the time. It says in the final minute, start running, regardless of your distance. Whereas I'm proposing that there should at least be a couple that kick in faster. Because if your bot is 300 or 400 meters out, running in the final minute's still not going to get you in. And then you're going to be late for the next circle. I think you almost need this kind of level of time of micromanagement with the bots, to be honest, because they're not moving properly.
Just then, they wouldn't have.
We can run a test with the fixed code if you like and see how they move and whether they get in and stuff.
Yeah, I'd rather fix the thing I knew that was broken first, see what happens,
sure.
Rather than, and then we can look at, if it ain't good enough, put all that in.
Sure.
It's just
I don't know where we're at.
I know exactly. You step away from something complicated and come back and look at it again. You see it differently, and that's what I just did. And after you told me that and I read this, it was like immediate. It popped out at me. I was like, oh, I forgot to do this.
Well, that's good. I don't know what's happening with this thing. Is it dark? I don't have night vision or what? I'm so confused. I'm just going to respawn myself. There we go. Chicken dinner. Yeah, there we go.
Looks like you still got spectate open.
Right. Oh, is that what it is? Right.
Yep.
Ah,
You should be able to have night vision and spectate anyway, though.
should.
Okay, let me read this real quick. Unit distance. Zone position is less than. That just means if you're in the zone. So I need to make this. Try that. 1.25. Unit distance plays on position is less than. That means within a certain range of the edge. Yes, that's what that means. Now what is this one?
I guess, mate, if you were to do this, I'm just thinking, if you were just to do, this 400 always thing. So right now you've got this. You've got this. It says times 60, and then you're outside the black. So anywhere. Right now you've got like this, outside blue. So if you were to reduce this down to less than 300, is your never this is less than 300 meters. Oh no, greater than 300 meters. Then seconds. So this actually should be much lower. It should be like 200 meters. Yeah, like 200 meters, 250 meters. 200 meters, I guess. That's going to be really weird.
Gotta step away.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, that would work.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this would work. So if you're telling the bots to always run until they get to within 200 meters of the blue zone, so you're saying to the AI, only return fire until you get to this golden distance from within the black. So if you got this, you got. Sorry, let me get a circle. So you got your circle here, and you got your blue. Let's get my black, and then we'll do that, and then Did blue. Okay. Okay. So what will happen is so imagine this is a 400-meter circle. All the bots are going to run until they reach here. Yeah. And so this is kind of like the golden perimeter around, like this 200 meters. So anything that's wildly outside the zone will just keep running and not shooting. And then when they get to this, they'll only be told to really push for the blue in the final 60 seconds of the round. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to create a bit of a distortion after the first zone. So you might have bots that are like all the way out here because they haven't really been trying to get into the blue zone at all. Because if we've said at zone one they can just kill as they like and maybe go to the blue if they want to. Is that right?
Currently.
But the black zone now is 66%, so it's like oh shit, bloody circles again. So I guess it's not going to be.
I'm about to change that first part though.
Ugh. So I guess they won't be that far out. Yeah, I think if you were to do this, it would work well without all the massive micromanagement. You're just saying that from after 1, so from 2 onwards, if an AI is ever more than 200 meters from the edge, it will run and not shoot, run and return fire. And then when the timer gets to less than 60 seconds, if they're outside the blue, they should run in and not return fire, I think. Unless shot at. I think that would work. I think that's how it is in reality and in VR.
I have to rewrite this.
Thinking about it, did I make the blue circle? Then it's going to be 66.
Just a matter of removing total freedom in the first zone, because then they would start making their way in at a certain time. I'll be back. Actually, gonna have dinner now.
No worries.